Hey folks, how you doing? Doc Kane from Nihon Hustle here with another installment of tools you can use. Today we're going to do a review of Transferwise. With all of these tools you can use installments. These are basically tools that I use in my own business, so I can recommend them wholeheartedly. As with all things, there are little kinks here and there, but I think for the most part, anything that I put up here on the channel in this section, the tools you can use section, is going to be pretty darn reliable and pretty easy to use. And that has been my experience with Transferwise, now called Wise, which is going to be really fun for them, I'm sure, to get search engine traffic from. Wise is a pretty darn common word, but I'm sure they'll figure it out. And part of that is asking folks like myself to do reviews, which I'm happy to do. So let's talk a little bit about Transferwise general service, and then I'll pull it apart a little bit into different kinds of things they have. Like I have a Transferwise debit card, which allows me to travel when we can hopefully travel at some point in time, and carry different currencies on the single card. It's a pretty sweet little thing. But let's talk about the main service. So the big advantage with Transferwise, or with Wise rather, is price. I mean, it's a commodity service, right? And so as a commodity service, these institutions that have created these online transfer opportunities for us save a ton of money in not having brick and mortar establishments, right? They don't have to pay people, they don't have to pay rent. Or they don't have to pay a certain number of people that are like located in countries and so forth. So they save a lot of money on overhead, which benefits us, the consumer. Western Union, local banks, all of these type of services that we're familiar with have these obligations still, and so thus they have to kind of weasel in or pad their transaction fees in order to help you. It's business, but these guys at Wise don't have that problem. So the biggest advantage you're going to get in using Wise is price. So using these guys for international transactions generally can save you about 8 times the cost that you would normally spend to transfer money with a bank. The other thing that makes that possible is they always use the mid-market exchange rate and basically low upfront fees. So they're not padding the exchange rate, which a lot of other institutions will do. So today, for example, it's March 15th, 2021, and I logged into my account. If I wanted to send money to the US right now, if I wanted to send like Niman, it would cost me only 257 yen. So, 200, let me practice my Japanese, 257 yen, right? 257. That's it. My brother or whomever I'm sending it to in the US would receive $181.04. So if you're thinking in US dollars, $200 sent and received $181 based on the exchange rate. But the fee is only, again in dollars, roughly $2.57. That's a hell of a deal. And at the bottom of the tool that you can use here, it shows you that basically you can save about 58 bucks, again in US dollars, right? So and fast, right? So today's the 15th. He would get the money basically tomorrow. And I've done this before. I've sent a few $100s to my brother, $500-600 I think, and it arrives without a hitch. I did it using at the beginning when I was using this service, and for some reason, I think the first time I used it, I couldn't use it online. But that may have changed, and I had to use an ATM machine to do my very first transaction. It might have been a requirement of SMBC, I'm not sure. But they were very helpful, and basically I did a wire using a code that Transferwise, now Wise, gave me, and it went off without a hitch. And so it's a beautiful thing, and worth checking out if you're not yet familiar with the service. So the other thing people might wonder about safety, they are regulated just like any other bank by financial authorities in all the countries that they operate in, and they operate in a ton of countries. I'm in Japan. They're actually invested. Someone invests. Where did I see that? There's a big company here locally that invests in Wise here in Japan. But anyway, they're regulated just like any other financial institution is regulated. Fast, right? About 30% of the transfers, they say, arrive instantly, about 53% within an hour, and about 81% within a day. So you can see the suggested rate of transfer speed that I was seeing was basically about a day for sending something to the US on March 15th. All kinds of coverage and currencies. You basically can hold, spend, and send money in over 50 different currencies. So if you're a freelancer that travels a lot, if you're living in Asia or Southeast Asia, if you're calling Thailand your home these days, or who knows what where people are these days, nomads with the state of the world. But if you're a frequent traveler, you have the ability to send money to and from lots of places. So all over Europe, Asia, Singapore, Turkey, South America, Argentina, Colombian pesos. If you're going to Israel, shekels, Sri Lanka, Russia. Where do you want to go, basically? So you can carry all this money on your Wise account. It's pretty darn cool. So that's basically it in a nutshell. So these accounts are really great for businesses as well. So they're great for freelancers. They're great for people who are traveling, and they're awesome for businesses as well. Now I haven't used I haven't used Wise yet for business purposes. But as the year goes by, I'm very likely to. And my wife has already mentioned it to her employer, who deals with companies all over the world. And here's why, right? So, Wise Business. Basically, you can pay invoices, which is very cool, in about 70 countries with exchange rates that PayPal can't compete with, basically, right? You can pay a large number of people at once. So you can pay about 1,000 people at one time. You can do this sort of transfer without interacting with a lot of banks. So just one transfer with Wise. You can receive money, receive overseas payments into your account. And again, without these kind of big fees that you're normally used to. What else can you do? Debit cards. You can issue debit cards. Like I said, I have this this Wise debit card. It's this really horrible, ugly puke green color, but and I actually don't carry it with me unless I need to, because it's kind of ugly. But it works. But debit cards, no foreign transaction fees, which is amazing. I mean, I spent so much money the first few months when I was in Japan as just a tourist, trying to get access to my own money in the U.S. This removes that problem. It's really wonderful. So that's basically business. Again, they're talking about speed is a big deal. 50% of payments are instant or arrive in an hour. Not a bad deal if you're a business person. The other cool thing is they have the ability to help you with large transfers. So if you want to transfer a huge amount of money overseas, say a million yen or something like that, you can do that, and you're going to get pretty much a good deal on the fees as well. Now, as I look at this today, I mean, it looks like 6,000 yen roughly as the fee, 63.92, which isn't chump change, right? That's a significant amount of money. But it looks like maybe if you were to run to the bank, it would cost you, ichiman yen, something like that, right? So you're saving 4,000 yen roughly. The ease with which you can do this, though, is important and shouldn't be discounted. I mean, you can literally just log in and take care of this in a few clicks. I was talking to my dad today, and he's going to actually be sending me some money. So he was worried about going to the bank and having to deal with all that, and they have to wait in the lobby and all this other bullshit. But here you can just do it online. And so as you can see, if you're using Japan yen, you have a lot of choices money-wise that you can excuse me, you have a lot of currencies that you can choose if you were living in Japan but wanted to send a currency in a different currency. Maybe you're holding euro or something like that on your card, but living in Japan, you can do that quite easily, and you can send using an equal number of currencies. So that's it. That's my review. So personal experiences, again, very, very easy to use. I recommend it a lot to people. Most people in Japan that I've had a conversation or two with about transferring money often just think about Western Union, or they think about their bank. And you can definitely do it, but I've found it Wise is a lot simpler. And if I remember correctly, I think my brother actually sent me money using Wise before I even returned the favor of sending it back to him. I had to borrow some money from him, so he's already used it as well. You can use Prestia if you're using an English language bank, but I would encourage you to compare these options, right? I think you'll be pleased with Wise. So that is basically it. Oh, I forgot to talk about the debit card. So there are some things, some pros and cons about the debit card, right? First of all, it is a debit card, so it's not a credit card. And I don't have a credit card in Japan. I had one and I got rid of it because I'm not very good with them. And I didn't really want to have it. But the biggest pain in the neck about not having a credit card in Japan is that you can't, at least with my bank, you can't get these kind of recurring services. So as I sign up for business tools that might bill monthly, if I'm using MailChimp or something like that, or my WPMU subscription, which I can't say enough about WPMU, and I should do a review on them actually. So those go on my wife's card. My wife has a card, and so we use her card for that to take care of recurring fees. So you can't do that with the Transferwise card either, unfortunately. So it's a debit card. It's a MasterCard. It's accepted anywhere a MasterCard. I feel I sound like a commercial. Accepted anywhere a MasterCard is accepted. Yes. They have free ATM withdrawals up to $250 per 30 days. There's some, depending on where you get your card from. So because I live in Japan, my card came from Singapore. So I guess I have a quote-unquote Singapore card. And there are certain limits as to how many times you can take out money based on where that card is sent. And I believe it's 2 times per month without a fee. But I really don't use it to take out money. So it automatically converts currencies, which is very cool. Low conversion fees and no transaction fees. So transaction fees are different than ATM fees, right? So there's no on-top fee. That's really the big advantage. They just became available in Japan. I think I got mine in February. Before that, it was just UK, Europe, USA, Australia, and New Zealand. I think you can't use it in Canada yet. You can't deposit cash using the card either, but that makes sense, I suppose. And that's it. So it's cool to have the card. Take a look. I put a link down below. It's an affiliate link, as you would imagine, because we're running a business like everybody else. And if you click on it, I think you get a couple bucks off your first transfer or something like that, and I get a couple pennies for recommending you. Check it out. So I'd appreciate the favor. We're all trying to raise families here, right? And that's how it goes. So that's my review of Wise. Probably put this on the website as well as some sort of text version, maybe a little prettier. And enjoy. Thanks for listening. Take care for now. Cheers, Doc from Kobe, Japan. Doc from Kobe, Japan, and Nihon Hustle. Have a nice, lovely day. Cheers.